Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go. Come on. This forever. No surrender. Yeah. You know that this right here forever. Go. And there will be no surrender. Now allow me to reintroduce myself.
On this episode of the Dads Who Lift podcast, I'm Joel Staley here with my host Tyler Gaeta, and we get into how your mindset can actually shape your life.
You can also check us out if you like this sweet apparel that we've been wearing during the podcast. You can also get this stuff at www.dadswholifapparel.com. We also have a Dads Who Lift Apparel Facebook group. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Dads Who Lift podcast. I'm Tyler Gaeta.
And Joel here, as always.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about your mindset. Change your mindset, change your life.
Tyler, I've always been a little bit into mindset, change your life. You know, your thoughts become your reality. My business coach / mentor has been a huge proponent of this, and I've found over the last few years that a lot of successful people that I look up to are preaching the same thing, that, you know, before the universe is going to bring stuff into your life, you have to first act as if. Act as if you have a successful podcast, for one. Act as if you're a dad who has a happy family. You're able to do whatever is important to you. And I ran into you, and after talking with you many times, you've brought my understanding of it up a few levels. So I'd love to pick your brain over the next half hour or so and just see, why is mindset so important? How can people improve their mindset to therefore improve their life? And is there any aspect of this that you think is kind of hippity-dippity, or do you think this is 100% if you believe you can achieve?
All right, so this is just me, my experience in my life, but to me it's 100% what you can believe you can achieve. Mindset is everything. What you believe does become reality. Thoughts turn into things. If you have a negative mindset, you will have a negative life. If you have negative thoughts, negative things will happen in your life. If you have positive mindset, you're going to have a positive life. You're going to have positive thoughts. If you love yourself, you think you love yourself, you're going to actually love yourself. So it's one of those things. And when you talked about manifesting, to get into manifesting, I mean, it's not only, I love manifesting. I manifest every morning.
What is manifesting?
So manifesting to me is basically telling the universe, or for me, it's God, but you can put in whatever you want to put in there. But for me, it's telling God what I really want, and not only telling him what I want and sending that out to the universe so that it comes back, it's believing in it. So when you manifest, you don't only think that you already have it. You don't think that you have a good podcast. You don't think that you have the best podcast. You have to feel it. So that's like, to me, that's the biggest key to manifesting, is you have to actually feel it. You have to feel those emotions, and you have to feel it as it's already happened.
Let's back up just a little bit. So say someone's never heard of manifesting. They've never heard about your thoughts become your reality. What is the first step somebody who's brand new would take to start going down the route that you're on now?
All right. So first steps, I'd say first step is going to just be get a positive mindset. Be in gratitude. Always try to be in gratitude. Always try to think of the things that you're grateful for. No matter how shitty things get in life, no matter how many problems you have, everybody has problems. There's always something to be grateful for. There's tons of YouTube videos on gratitude. I mean, there's one I listen to every single morning that it's as simple as, I'm grateful for this air that I breathe. I'm grateful for my eyes so that I can see. You know, I'm grateful for my muscles. It's just, and it's kind of cool to listen to a video that's that simple, because it's things that you do not think about. You don't think that you're grateful for these things, the air in my lungs, but it's all things that it's life. And when you can slow things down and actually look around and enjoy things, and be grateful for things, it puts you in the mode for reception.
So how do you do it?
What do you mean?
So do you go about, do you just, is it like a meditation type deal? Do you write things down?
For me, number one is just to get in that mindset, which that honestly comes through thoughts. So thoughts become things. So you have to have positive things. Think about being in gratitude. They say it takes your brain 21 days to actually change, for things to become a habit. So if you wake up every single morning, this is what I like to do. They say in the first 20 minutes that you wake up is the best time for your brain to basically absorb knowledge to start the day. So the first 15, 20 minutes that I wake up, I like to listen to some kind of gratitude video. Or you can just sit there and think about things that you're grateful for. You can make a list and write down things that you're grateful for and read them every morning. Beyond that, once you get into that gratitude stage, and let me just throw this out there, guys, this is not something that like you get to, you attain, and you're always it. It doesn't happen. It's like I said in the first podcast, life's a roller coaster. You're always up and down. So there's times where you're grateful. There's times that you're feeling great. There's also times that you're going to be sad, and life happens. But if you can try to think about the gratitude, try to think about what you're grateful for, it just changes your mindset into a positive thinking mode. Then as far as like manifesting goes, what I do, and this is just what I like to do. Some people do manifest boards. I know you have a manifest board. What I like to do is I just write down what I see in my future. I wrote it down on a piece of paper and a notebook. It can be a page, it can be 3 pages, it can be 5 pages, whatever you see. And so every single morning, I listen to my gratitude stuff. I get my son off to school. I get my employees out to work. And I personally like to go to the gym every morning. So I'm fortunate enough to where I get my employees out the door, get my kid to school, and I drive to the gym. So I drive to the gym listening to more positive stuff. And then I love to just sit in my car, and everybody at the gym probably thinks I'm a weirdo because, I pull up to the gym and I sit in my car with it running for 20 minutes. But I like to sit in my car, and the way that I manifest is I read through my journal. I read through my manifest schedule, and I read every single sentence. And I also like to throw manifest music on. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't, but you can find it on YouTube. I like it. I read every sentence, and I shut my eyes, and I picture it. I run that shit through my brain as if it already happened, and I feel it. And there's times, so I'll run through that whole thing. It usually takes me 15 to 20 minutes to get through my whole manifest. And there's times that when I'm done, I got tears in my eyes. I'm going to open my eyes and I've got tears in my eyes. And it's crazy because you really do, like the whole point behind it is you tell the universe what you want, or God, or whatever whatever is out there for you. You tell it what you want, and then you have to be receptive, which is the gratitude, and you have to feel like you already have it, and then it comes. I don't make the rules, man. It sounds weird. When I first got into it, it was weird stuff. I mean, it sounded weird to me, but it really does work, and it really does make sense in my life. I mean, I've manifested a lot of things that have already happened, like this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to hear more about what your affirmations look like, how you did get into it and whatnot. But let me just get into a little bit, and I'm nowhere near on your level yet, but I'd like to be because I've seen it work for you. I know you're very passionate about it and you're a smart dude. A business coach I'm working with right now, the first thing he had me do was fill out a manifesto, where basically right now the year's 2019. He said, all right, my name's Joel Staley. I run a successful body transformation company. I have 5 coaches working under me, where right now it's just me. I have a copywriter, a marketing expert, basically where I'm going to be in the next 2 to 5 years. Even he went as so far as to say, all right, my 2019 revenue is this, my 2020 revenue is this, 2021 revenue is this, my take home, all this stuff. You fill in everything. And really the key is to think as big as you possibly can. And like you said, feel like you've already made it. Yep. So right now, even in 2019, if I make 15 grand in my business, that's not the feeling I'm projecting. I'm projecting, it's 2022. I'm making 400 grand in my business. I have all these people working under me, and this is how it makes me feel. And you put those vibrations out there. Now, it sounds kooky at first. It sounds kooky at first, but one of the things in this manifesto is a vision board. And like it has you put the house your family lives in, all the things that are very important to you. And what I had put on my vision board was tattoo sleeves, the very traditional look, something I've wanted for a very long time, but I've always been back and forth of should I keep my sleeves half sleeves, should I go full sleeves? So I had full traditional nautical tattoo sleeves on my board. I had a blacked out F-150 with big black rims, looking sick. I have our dream house. I have all this different stuff. And what I found was my coach wanted me to go over this manifesto, like you said, every morning. And at the very least, even if you don't believe in the universe or its capabilities or anything like that, at the very least, looking at this vision board every single day, seeing these tattoos, seeing this blacked out F-150, it was about 2 weeks into doing this manifesting that I scheduled my tattoo to go full sleeve, which I'm now working on. If you're watching the video of this podcast, it's getting done. I scheduled, I got brand new black dope rims for my F-150. I'm in the process of blacking it out. So even at the very least, just reminding yourself every single day what you want you're only going to do it so often until you finally say, you know what, I'm scheduling that appointment today. I'm making this happen today. So like I said, even if you don't believe in any of the kooky stuff, which I do believe in, but at the very least, you can benefit from this type of stuff just from constantly reminding yourself the man you want to be, what you want to have for your family, where you want to take your family. And if you remind yourself every day and you're not making conscious decisions that are on par for that exact same thing, you know it. And so if, say, like, you say, all right, in 5 years, I want to have a successful podcast. Then all of a sudden, when a business partner or an opportunity comes up for you to collaborate and bring your podcast up to the next level, it's like, oh, this is it. Here's my opportunity. I have to do this. So I 100% think there's something to it, even if you don't believe in any of the crazy stuff. But that being said, I do believe in
crazy shit is the good shit.
I do believe that sometimes you gotta fake it before you make it, and the universe will match what you believe in yourself. Let me ask you this real quick. Say you have your typical dad. He's working 2 or 3 jobs, barely any time with the family. The kids resent him. Wife's always on his ass. Times are tough. How do you go about finding a positive mindset? I feel like it's easier said than done, but it can be done. What would you tell that guy?
I mean, really, it starts pretty damn simple. You try to control your thoughts. And some people say, like me in the beginning, when I first got into this stuff and started reading about it and learning about it, I thought I can't control my thoughts. You can't fucking control your thoughts. Your thoughts just come, but it's not true. Your thoughts come from the vibration of the level that you're at, and you can control your thoughts. If a thought comes in that doesn't meet your future, you can just push it right the fuck out and think something else. So it's as simple as that, really. I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. I mean, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of trial and error, really, just playing with it to get there. But thoughts become things. Thoughts become realities. If you have a positive mindset, it's the glass half empty or the glass half full. To me, it's half full, but to you, it might be, shit, the glass is almost empty.
Well, yeah, it's almost empty.
Little
glass of Makers is almost empty.
Oh, can't say that. Beep that out.
So let me ask you, glass of whiskey is almost empty.
So, but I want to touch on a few things that you said too. I think they were really good, but when you think about, when you were talking about your income level and you say, even though, my income level might not be $250,000 now, but that's on my vision board for 2 years down the road. You don't even have to think in 2020 aspects of, in 2020 or I'm sorry, 2022, I think is what you said. You don't have to think in aspects of 2022, I'll be at 250,000. You think in aspects of right now. Right now, I'm at 250,000. And the whole point to manifesting, if you don't believe in like putting shit out that comes back, whatever, that's cool. But the whole point to manifesting is getting yourself on the level to receive what you want. So if you don't, to me, it's all about vibrations. But if you don't vibrate at the level of where you see yourself, then you're never going to get there. And what that really comes down to is if you don't feel like you're worth driving a fucking Lamborghini, if that's one of your goals, then you're never going to drive a Lamborghini.
I have a story that coincides with this perfectly, and it's from, like I said, one of my business mentors that got me into the whole manifesting and the universe will give you what you think you deserve. So she runs a freight brokerage company, and she sent out a Facebook ad looking for new employees. And she said, no college degree needed. You need very minimal skills. We're going to pay you $35,000 a year. And she got flooded, thousands of people hitting her up. She put out the exact same ad, no college degree required, minimal skills required. We're going to pay you $110,000 a year. She got 2 inquiries. And that's only because, if you agree, I don't know, but I've found that people tend to make what they're worth.
You sell yourself short.
What they think they're worth.
You sell yourself short.
Right. So even though it's the exact same requirements, for $35,000, everyone was telling themselves, oh, you know what? I'm not good enough. Yeah, $35,000. Let's do it. I'm worth that. But for the other exact same opportunity, but to be paid more money, people told themselves, oh, that must be for someone else. I'm more of a $35,000 a year kind of person. I'm not worth that. Whereas if those people had been waking up, manifesting, saying, I'm going to find my dream job, I'm going to make 6 figures, I'm not going to need a pointless college degree, then when that opportunity came along, they might have said, holy shit, this is it. As opposed to, no, this is way above me.
Right.
Does that have something to do with it?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like I said, you have to feel like you're worthy of it to receive it. If you don't feel like you're worthy of it, you're not going to receive it. And I'm a firm believer in fake it till you make it. When I first started my first company at 21, I lived in a rental house, had a newborn child, and I had 1 truck, 1 trailer, 1 mower, trailer and mower that my dad sold to me. I ended up paying him back later, but at the time it was like rented to me or leased to me or whatever. And that's all I had. No snow equipment, no anything. And I walked into a large complex, which is basically like in our city, like a big ass mall, but like this huge outdoor mall. I'm not going to name it. And I sold it, and I landed that from my first snow contract that first year. And I walked in there, and I acted like I ran the game. I ran all of Omaha, which is where we're from here. I had all the equipment, I had all the trucks, and I didn't lie. I just acted like I had it. And basically what I said is, I have everything that you need, I can get it, which was true. I did get it. I leased stuff, I found stuff, I borrowed stuff, I rented stuff, and I made it happen. But to get that, I had to act very larger than where I was really at. But at the same point in time, I had to feel like I was larger than where I was at. If I didn't feel like I was larger than where I was at, I wouldn't have been able to sell it. And that's what really started my whole first company.
So there was a point in my 4th men's physique show that, so a little background was I did 4 men's physique shows. The first one, I ended up getting first in my class, 2nd overall. But apparently there was a piss test at the end of it. Me and also the guy that got 3rd place weren't aware of. So I got a call the day after the show, and the guy that was running the whole thing said, hey, sorry to say this, but you're disqualified. You missed your piss test. And it wasn't until months later I found out that 3rd place also missed his piss test because they only piss tested the first guy, which wasn't a big deal. I thought, you know what? I got first in my class, 2nd overall this year. I'm going to work my ass off all year. I'm going to go back and I'm going to win next year. Haha, joke's on you. I went back, trained my ass off. I didn't get my dieting. This was before I even knew about calories and macros and fasting and all this stuff. So I went back, even though I worked hard. I ended up getting 5th place. Terrible. So I was like, all right. I got to really step my game up. Next year, I'm going to do it. Went back year number 3. I ended up getting 3rd place. But I was like, I'm not going to give up until I win this bitch. Went back year number 4. So after we went out, we did our flexing, all this stuff. I'm sitting in the stands waiting for us to go out on the main stage and judges to call our numbers, see how we place and stuff. And I just remember sitting there in the stands and I laughed to myself. And the reason I laughed to myself was I made the decision at that point, I'm going to come back and do this exact same show year after year after year after year. I don't care if I'm 75 years old. It's going to get to the point that it's like an inside joke to people. Oh yeah, that Joel Staley's been coming here for the last 40 years. Like, joke's going to be on these guys because I'm going to keep coming until I win.
Right.
So it'll get to either the point that I'm a 75-year-old competing against 22-year-olds, or within that time span, I'm going to win this thing, and then I'll know I did my work. And it just so happened, right after that, about 15 minutes later, go back behind stage, judges call us out. I ended up winning my class. They put me against the short division. I ended up winning. And it was one of the, besides having my daughter and getting married, was one of the best times of my life.
Right.
And the difference between that show and all the other shows was I had kind of dipped into the manifesting and the mindset type deal. So I would literally close my eyes. I would imagine myself being the only one left on stage, everyone cheering my number, cheering my name. And I mean, call it a coincidence or not, that was the year I ended up winning the show, and it was crazy.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So not only manifesting, I mean, it comes into really, I mean, change your mindset, change your life, right? So that says everything about it. So motivation comes into it. I mean, just having the drive, the determination to do what you're going to do means everything in the world. I mean, if you're somebody that thinks to themselves, I will not fail, whether that means being a dad, whether that means driving a Lamborghini, having a private jet, starting a business, being the best person at your job. It really doesn't matter what the fuck it means. Whatever your meaning of success is, if you're a person that says, I'm never going to fail, you're not going to fail, because I'll tell you what, I don't ever fail, and I fuck up a lot. I fuck up all the time.
So that gets into your
But
daily...
it's not a failure.
That gets into your daily affirmations. How does one go about setting some daily affirmations for themselves?
I mean, it just has to be, like I said, it's just a mindset. I mean, it just has to be a way that you think. It has to be a way that you live. I mean, I suppose you could write them down. That'd probably be one of the best ways to do it. If you're somebody, so for me, like I usually don't write a ton of stuff down because my mind is like, I just remember things. But not everybody's like that. So yeah, if you need to write down your affirmations, like if you want to tie it back into the manifesting, I mean, write down what you want your life to be. And don't write it down what you want your life to be. I mean, ultimately, it's going to be what you want your life to be.
Who you want to be.
But write it in the terms of that you already have it. And like, so my manifest, when I start it, I am grateful and happy to have this. And then it goes all the way through. So, yeah.
Yeah, one of the affirmations that's made a big impact, again, for my business coach, has me doing it every morning, is just one of them right off the top of my head is failure is a necessary part of being successful. Failure is going to happen almost every day.
Yep.
Don't get detoured from it. Again, it just means you're taking the right steps to be successful. So now
Absolutely.
if I get on a sales call and I'm talking to a guy that wants to lose 30 pounds and I fail to show him my value and sell him on a program, because I can help him lose 30 pounds, no problem. But if I fail to make that, to translate to him and get him to take action, I failed that sales call. But instead of being depressed and beating myself up over it now, I just remember that daily affirmation. You know, failure is part of the process. What did I learn from that call? What can I do differently? You know, don't take this this depressed thought and bring it over to your family life when your daughter and your wife get home from work. But how can you learn from it and improve upon the next time? So that's been huge for me.
That's the thing, man. There's no such thing as failure. So, like I said, I fuck up all the time. I mean, all the time. But if you learn from it, did you fail?
Exactly.
If you can learn from it, grow from it, which is the key right here is grow from it. If you can learn from it, grow from it, and move forward, did you fail?
Failure is the best teacher, and I feel like we should take a shot to that and end this thing.
I feel like, real quick, if you're not failing, you're doing something wrong. If you're not fucking up, you're doing something wrong. You're not taking enough risk. Like, your goals, and this could be a whole nother fucking podcast, but your goals need to be way bigger than you think they need to be, right? you have to be taking chances, taking risk, and fucking up to get anywhere. Like, I try to set my goals so high, like Joe will tell you, like, my goals are crazy, but I try to set my goals so high that even if I don't meet them, I'm still going to be in a better place than where I would have been if I would have set realistic goals, because I still strived for more and grew for more and wanted more. Let's get a shot ready.
All right. Hey, and while I pour these, I just want to give another shout out to Now or Never Studios and Rexius Inc. for allowing us to use this awesome studio.
Let's give a shout out to CC Media too for putting all this together. Make all this shit happen.
And that being said, labels in. Cheers to being a dad who lifts.
Cheers, guys.
Change your mindset.
Happiness and success is in you.
Speechless trying to air a grievance, but his lines are overhead. Better check the air for clearance. Call the tower, this is ours. Clear the heat, the air apparent. Really, I've never been better. Legacy, this is forever. All the more times I've been severed. I'm raising the bar, you can go ahead and measure. Think about time for a toast. Time that we welcome to go. Yo, we're just leaving. I think about time that's somebody.
Thanks for listening, guys. If you love this podcast and you are a dad who lifts, check out our Facebook group, Dads Who Lifts, and join. You can also catch this podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, www.dadswholifapparel.com. We also have a Dads Who Lift Apparel Facebook page.
I ain't forget that alive. Forget that alive. Just making sure that you know why, because this is forever.